Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Overcoming Graduation with Brian Drury, a show where I work to teach you everything I wished I had known about life to help you graduate to the next level in your own. And today is another installment of The Morning Commute, a short-form podcast where I take my commute to work in the morning to share a short but powerful message with you to help you kick your day off on the right foot. And today's message is this: morning ignition. It was several years ago when I first saw this video, and it was one of those Goalcast style videos, which, crazily enough, at an event I went to just 2 weekends ago, I got to meet the creators of Goalcast, which was really exciting. Very, very cool. But I digress. There was a video of a Navy SEAL giving a commencement speech at a Texas A&M graduation, and he talked about making your bed first thing in the morning. What he said to the graduating class was, you make your bed, you do it right, you crease the corners like the military style, and you start your day off with a win. No matter how bad your day goes from that point on, you started with a win. No matter what happens, you had control over that moment and you chose to act in a way that set you up to succeed, that accomplished a goal, that created a better future, in a way that when you come home, you have a nice, clean, made bed, you can get into that made bed, and everyone knows that feeling, it's different. It's like when the bed's made and you get in, it's like, oh yeah. So, all these little things from just making your bed. And even if you did a shitty job of making your bed, it might take you 6 seconds. If you do a good job, it might take you 30 seconds or a minute, if you're really, really getting in there. And the interesting thing about this is the domino effect of momentum. Because recently, I started a new morning habit, and I've started to do, originally it was 2 minutes of planking, so forearm or straight arm plank. And for anyone who's not familiar with a plank, planking is just getting into a push-up position for a straight arm plank and holding there. Or if you go down onto your forearms with your body straight, that's a forearm plank. So 2 minutes of that, and then 12 pull-ups. And over time, over the past couple weeks, that's evolved to a minimum of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, first it was 3 minutes of planks, now 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And I've stayed at 12 pull-ups. Here's why. I like setting minimums to set myself up to succeed. Because on the really hard days, you might not get the 2-hour workout in the gym. You might not have time, or you might not create time, because there's two different situations. You might not be able to work on your book for an hour. You might not be able to do 3 hours of podcast editing. But if you set minimums, and you say, no matter what, on every day, I'm going to do 20 minutes of physical activity. That every day, at the very minimum, I will do 3 minutes of planks and 12 pull-ups. And you might go, well, Brian, what the fuck does that matter? It's just this little bit, this tiny quantity. It's not going to make any difference. You're not going to lose weight. You're not going to get cut. Okay, fair enough. You might not get into ripped, chiseled, crazy shape doing 12 pull-ups a day. And for some of you, you might. Like, honestly, you'd be amazed with pull-ups. But, so you probably won't. Let's just say you won't. Just 30 seconds of activity, a minute of activity. You may not get in great shape, but here's what it does do, is it creates consistency and momentum. It also creates momentum for my day, because doing difficult, not dangerous things in life is important. Something Joe Rogan talks about in this clip called Joe Rogan Growth that I love. You can find that on YouTube. He says, I think we're meant to do difficult shit because life is about growth and learning. Growth is only outside of our comfort zone. And so when you get up in the morning, the last thing you might want to do is get in an ice cold shower, or do a plank, or do pull-ups, or read, or meditate, or whatever. Like, you might just feel like, I'm just stressed, I'm tired, or I'm foggy, I need my coffee, whatever. Here's the interesting thing, though. When you start to do positive, empowering things that are difficult in the morning, things can really shift. Like, try taking an ice cold shower, the coldest you can put it. I've done this on and off for years. And at one point I did it every single day, every single morning while I was traveling, when I was home. And you might think, oh, okay, so it gets to a certain level of cold and that's as cold as it's going to get. Well, no. Being back home in New Jersey in the winter when the wells were freaking freezing, it made them so intense. But the coldest ice cold shower I ever did was in Iceland, because their cold water pipes come directly from deep down in the earth and glaciers and all that. So that was interesting. But I did not want to do it that morning. I did not want to get into that shower because I knew it was going to be insanely cold, maybe painfully cold, probably. And I was right, because as soon as I got in, it was like mind-numbingly cold. My extremities were going numb. It was like intense, and it was just a couple of minutes, but I still showered. I did my whole shower. I washed my hair and my body, got in and out. So, but after that, I went, holy shit, I did it. So my day started off not just with a win, but a bigger win, because this was a larger challenge than normal. On some of these days, I say, my minimum is now 3 minutes and 30 seconds of planks. Some days I'm like, let's see how far we can go. And I've gone as far as 8 minutes and 7 seconds. And that's like, holy shit, man, I've never done that before in my life. And now at 28, that's the first time I've done that. Wow. Because here's the thing, guys, when we do things for the first time in our life, no matter what age we are, it begs the question, what else can I do that I've been holding myself back from? Or what else could be within reach with a little training, a little education, a little knowledge, a little time spent invested in it? Because you might go, well, I don't know how to start a business. I don't know how to write a book. I don't know how to get in shape, whatever. Well, maybe it's time to up-level the education. Maybe the difficult thing is getting out of your comfort zone and acknowledging the possibility that you could do that thing, not hiding behind the word impossible, and then creating something through the knowledge you gain. You see, it's really interesting how small things, and it's one of the most common success habits of really incredible people, is a positive, empowering, enriching morning routine, or a consistent morning routine, something that builds them up, gets them in the right mind state. And I used to hate that, because I said, damn it, mornings suck. I don't want to do this. I for most of my life was not a morning person. And am working actively now to recondition myself to love, engage, and just be all about my mornings, because I need my mornings in order to do all the things I want to do. It's not that I couldn't do it without them, but I am able to rapidly fast track so many of the things I want to do when I'm putting 30 minutes or an hour into them in the morning and then in the evening. And sometimes that's my health, sometimes that's my business, sometimes that's my relationships. But having that time, it's like I'm giving myself more time just by getting up earlier. So I used to hate that and be like, no, there's got to be a way without that. There's got to be a shortcut. There's got to be a way to do this without having to do what all of these successful people are telling me I need to do. And again, I always say this, I always put this caveat. When I say successful, I don't just mean monetarily. I mean in all areas and aspects of their life, that they have great relationships, they bring in a ton of wealth, they give out a ton of wealth. Like, to me, balance is much more holistic, that they have spiritual balance and peace. Not to say that they need to have that all the time, but that they work towards it, they cultivate it, and they're growing. As my mentor Sean Stevenson says, they are focused on their personal evolution, not on individual accomplishments. So, as you can see, morning momentum is something that I could resist, and I could hate and just be like, well, no, I'm not going to do that and resist it. Or I can say, hey, Brian, what does that look like when I step into that? When I challenge one of my biggest limiting beliefs in saying, oh, you're not a morning person. And how much I identified with that, and how much I would do things to prove myself right and stay up on my phone or watching TV for no reason when I'm like, I'm tired, I should go to bed. Tomorrow's a big day. Why is tomorrow a big day? Because it's tomorrow, and it's full of possibility. And right now my body's telling me I need to refuel. Instead of doing that and resisting and then just staying in my old habit patterns, I can break them and prove to myself that there is a new person, a stronger, better, clearer person who's able to serve more in that by taking different action. It's like I can show myself a different identity and version of me, one that I've wanted, one that I want to bring out just through acting differently. And so much of this can start with a morning routine. So much of this can start with making a decision for yourself. Most mornings, I will do my planks, I'll do my pull-ups, I will read my goals, something, again, that same mentor, Sean Stevenson, said, write down your goals and put them in a place you can see them every day. And these goals range from like very near-term, immediate goals to very long-term goals, or goals that could happen much faster depending on the level of work I put into them. You know, he talks about his goals, and he's got major ones like owning a basketball team and like things that most people would think are just outlandish and crazy. It's like, but that big dream can drive you to do incredible things, because in order to get to the point where he could do that, it's like he continues to create even more value for the world. He brings more immense value, because that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned from my mentors, is that wealth creation is a matter of value generation and value sharing. So all of these pieces, all of these things start by igniting your mornings with something empowering and setting a minimum, something small. Like I said, I've hit almost every day. I've missed one or two there, but here or there, but I definitely noticed a difference on those days. And I said, Brian, focus on your personal evolution. Like Sean said, don't get caught up in being perfect and never missing a day. Just say, okay, you missed today, get back up. Or, hey, it's 5 p.m. Do it now rather than let yourself go a day without keeping that habit and creating something that is so consistent that you're going to make it a part of every day no matter what. So I want you to ignite your morning. I want your days to be kicking off with excitement and energy. And this morning, did my planks, did my pull-ups, meditated, ice cold shower, made my bed, ironed a shirt. Like, I'm ready to rock, guys. It's game time. It is 7:56 a.m. Got to work before the, we really don't have a standard start time, but I like to be here before 8. It's like, dude, this day's kicking off great. Let's do it. Let's go for it. So thank you all for listening today. If this message was of value to you, please share it out with your friends and following. I love when people do that, and would love to see other people benefit from a message that benefited you. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or on Stitcher. And if you'd be willing to go and give a rating and a review, that would be hugely helpful in helping me get this message out to more and more people. If you are interested in rapidly up-leveling, changing your mindset to be more empowering, to help you towards your goals, getting more clarity on what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how to make it happen faster than you ever thought possible, and also uncovering hidden obstacles that have been holding you back, reach out to me at brian@overcominggraduation.com to schedule your 1-hour free clarity session, where we will go through and break down what it is that's been holding you back, what you want to do with your life, why it means so much to you, and how you can make it happen faster than you ever thought possible. So again, that's brian@overcominggraduation.com to schedule your 1-hour free clarity session. I love you guys. Thank you all for listening, and we will be talking again real soon.